All right, today we're jumping into the world of trading, but we're going to do something a little different. We're going to completely ignore the charts, forget the fancy indicators, and all those so-called secret strategies. Instead, we're pulling back the curtain on the one thing that really truly separates the pros from everyone else, the psychological battleground, what we're calling the hidden stage.
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's so frustrating. You see so many smart people jump in, armed with all the books, courses, the best software, and yet the vast majority of them just struggle. Well, the reason isn't what you think. The answer isn't out there in the market, it's inside the trader. And this right here, this slide, is the entire game in a nutshell. Look at the difference. The amateur is always looking outside themselves for the answer, a better way to predict the market, a more complicated strategy, the next holy grail. But the professional, they know the game is won internally. It's all about self-control, simple discipline, and mastering their own mind. So, to really understand what makes a professional tick, we first have to dissect the mindset that holds most people back. It's a way of thinking that, let's be honest, feels exciting. It feels full of potential. But in the end, it's completely destructive. We call it the lottery mentality. So what exactly is this lottery mindset? Well, it's basically treating the market like a giant slot machine. It's that constant search for the one big home run trade that's going to change everything. The focus is all on the thrill, right? The adrenaline rush, the hope of getting lucky. And it completely ignores the steady, sometimes boring process that actually builds real wealth. Now take a look at these behaviors. Be honest with yourself for a second. Does any of this sound a little familiar? Chasing a stock after it's already popped? Feeling like a genius after a win and a total failure after a loss? Hopping from one perfect strategy to the next every single week? You see, this isn't a trading plan. It's an emotional roller coaster. And it almost always ends the same way, blaming the market for what were ultimately our own undisciplined decisions. So, if that's the trap, how do you escape? Well, it means you have to enter the hidden stage. This is the part of the journey that nobody ever talks about because, frankly, it's not glamorous. It's invisible. But it is the absolutely critical phase where a gambler starts to think like a professional. It's a path most people don't even know exists. We're all conditioned to believe that the answers are right there on the screen. We stare at charts for hours and hours looking for that secret pattern, that perfect signal that's going to unlock all the profits. But the real path, well, it isn't there at all. And this is the big secret, the part no one wants to hear. Real, sustainable profitability is forged when absolutely nothing is happening. It's in the discipline to literally sit on your hands and just wait for your setup. It's having the strength to follow your plan when the market is dead quiet and every bone in your body is screaming at you to just do something. The real work is managing yourself during the quiet. This quote just nails it perfectly. And listen to the power in those words. Not just patience, but ruthless patience. Not just discipline, but strict discipline. See, this isn't a passive thing. It's an active, powerful choice to control your own actions, precisely because you can't control the market. Okay, so is the amateurs are just playing the lottery? What are the professionals doing that's so different? Simple. They're running a business. And it's a very specific kind of business. One that is built entirely on managing probabilities. They're not trying to be right all the time. They're just focused on being profitable over time. And this table just lays out the difference so clearly. Look at the shift in every single category. The goal isn't to get rich quick, it's about consistent profitability. The focus isn't on catching every single move, it's just about executing a plan. And this one's huge. How do you react to a loss? Is it emotional? Do you blame someone? Or is it just analytical feedback, data? The key skill here isn't trying to predict the future, it's emotional detachment. This all brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful idea in this whole thing. It's a mental model that, if you can really let it sink in, changes everything. The final truth is this: the market is a mirror. Here's the first half of that truth, and honestly, it's so liberating once you accept it. You cannot control the market. Let me say that again. You have zero, absolutely zero, control over what it will do next. Trying to force it, trying to impose your will on it, that's just a recipe for frustration and failure. The pros don't fight this fact. They embrace it. And this is where all of your power is. If the market is just this wild, uncontrollable force, then the only variable in the entire equation that you have 100% control over is you. your decisions, your emotions, your discipline. You can't control the outcome of one trade, but you can control whether you follow your plan on every single trade. And that's the whole game.
So we'll end with this question for you to really think about. If the market is a mirror and it simply reflects the discipline, the patience, and the emotional control of the person clicking the mouse, what does it see when it looks at you? Does it see the hopeful gambler, just riding a wave of emotion? Or does it see the calm, disciplined business owner, patiently executing their plan? Because the answer to that question, well, that's what will determine everything.